So, my first startup had 2,000 users and 30k of revenue in the first 45 days, and it still failed. Here's why. Like most founders, my first startup was a failure. It wasn't actually my first startup, I'd been in business before, but it was my first tech startup. And going into the world of tech as someone who had never put together a proper tech product before, I was basically starting from scratch. So this is why I failed. And hindsight is a beautiful thing. The first reason why I failed? Bad market opportunity. So my first startup was actually a company called Cardlo. I wanted to get into digital identity. However, at the time, mobile ordering systems such as Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Fetch, a bunch of the other ones were really growing within the market. This was also around the time of COVID, so restaurants were shut and convenience stores were struggling. So at the time I thought there was a great market opportunity for mobile ordering services. Being someone who had already run marketing campaigns for hospitality businesses in the past, I thought I was the perfect person for the job. The tech really couldn't be that hard, could it? You see, well, this looked like a great market opportunity for me, and maybe you're thinking the same. However, I was forgetting one crucial thing that I didn't really have: money. You see, as I've already mentioned, a lot of other companies and entrepreneurs were building mobile ordering services, and they had a lot more money than me, which meant more resources, effectively more time because they can buy the time, and more money to market themselves. It was like I was Wales playing against England in the World Cup. I thought I had a chance, but I was going to lose anyway. Which brings me on to my next point of I wasn't fast. Being a one-man band, it's extremely difficult to iterate the product that you currently have. It's extremely difficult to, alongside that, market it and manage the existing customers that you have. And in hindsight, a lot of my problems really could have been solved by either building a better product, having a better marketing strategy, automating customer service, or hiring someone. One of the key lessons that I've learned in business is that speed is everything. You have to be fast. If you're not, someone is going to overtake you. And this goes for all businesses. You could be a year ahead, but if you're not innovating, someone's going to catch up and overtake you. And number 3, and this really was the last nail in the coffin, I let my main customer push me around. There's a rule in business, and that's that 10% of your revenue should not come from any one customer. And I didn't believe that, and partially still as a one-man band, I kind of don't believe it now. But this is a great example of that. When you're reliant on your income from 1, 2 or 3 customers, you're going to let them push you around. Because if you don't, they're going to leave you and then you're going to have nothing. That being said, getting feedback and improving your product just for one customer before you then expand it out to a wider market is a great idea. You can handle one communication line of feedback, so it's very easy as a one-man band. Getting feedback and improving your product so that it's perfect for your first customer is brilliant. It helps you to build a better product that then other potential customers may need. However, you don't want to get sidetracked building features that only your first customer or your main customer are going to use. Unfortunately, I let this first customer push me around, and I ended up building features that the rest of the market didn't need. Critically, I spent around 30 days building these features. I had about 3 or 4 other customers, and they were using the product, they were happy with it, but they weren't making huge amounts of money like this initial customer was. So overall, 90% of the revenue that came through my platform came from this one customer. And while it was a lot of money, I was now a month behind. So I'd essentially spent over a month going in completely the wrong direction. After this month, most of my competitors had claimed the rest of the market. And more importantly, COVID regulations were starting to ease in the UK. So many restaurants and convenience stores were going back to their usual ways because that was what was making them money before the pandemic. So how did I fail on this whole operation if I had 30k in revenue in the first 45 days? Well, the majority of that 30k in revenue came from that main client, and that's total revenue. That's not the fee that I was taking for my services, that was the revenue going through the platform. Overall, the fee I took was around 2 or 3 grand for those 45 days, which from one customer is great, if I had 10 customers. Part of the deal that I made with my main customer was that I would help promote the fact that they were using my service. Essentially, I was doing their marketing for them and taking a really small fee, which was a stupid deal. So we'd essentially turned their bar and restaurant into a convenience store that I was marketing for them, and all they had to do was provide the stock. And they were taking 90% of the profit. Once you factor in the amount of time and effort that I put into marketing the products that they were selling, I wasn't really in profit. So ultimately I came to the realization that my business was a dead horse, and I closed it. You can keep pushing a dead horse, but a living one moves a lot faster. I'm sure there's a quote like that out there somewhere. If there's not, I'll claim it.